Good afternoon, good evening, team. We're going to get started here and start the call with myself this evening and also with Dr. Hassa Johnson, Advisory Board Member, Life Sciences 3MT, and also with myself, business strategist and IT developer, leadership team auspicious. So we're literally going to get started here, and we're going to follow the agenda that we have set aside. So what we want to do is what we want to actually literally talk about tonight is we went out, there's several things we're going to cover tonight. Number one is business and field work. Number two is the upcoming event, October 27th. That's number two. Number three are testimonies. And we have two. We have one by one of our newest team members, Ms. Kathy Reed. I've been working with her for around 2 weeks, and she has a testimony to give on heart disease and tea. Karen Tolliver, Optimal Health as well. And also what we're going to be talking about is the event for October 27th, which is very important. Block of rooms, which we're working on as well. We'll be covering those things as well. So these are the things we're also want to bring into the call. The first thing we want to really address is this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so we do know that because of the T is epigenetic. We've been studying those things. They're in the university as well. And we've been studying the role of T in breast cancers and the catechins and the flavonoids in these things that help. Is scientific based. It's not something we made up. It's something that's in the university. We encourage you to work with the different divisions, divisions in your states for breast cancer awareness, and to do some events around breast cancer awareness, because you never know how you can help someone. It's not just about selling the tea. It's also about helping. And it's for you to go into the university, brush up on the epigenetics portion, brush up on those tea studies, and then you should be ready. You should print out the resources as well that's there, so you can have them with yourself by your booth, so that you can explain this is evidence-based. It's not something you're just saying. You need to have these things readily available so that they can look at these things as well. And also it's for overall health and optimal health as well. The next thing that we want to talk, we're not going to have a long call because there's a lot of program, a lot of things going on behind the scenes too. The next thing is that we're going to have the holiday booth also, and we wanted you to get ready for your holiday booth by you ordering the necessary things, having your business cards, having your flyers, having your banners ready, your table, your tea, your canisters, and having those things ready as well, because we know that we're coming out with the weight loss tea. You've already heard that from Mr. Joe Morton, that we're going to be coming out with a weight loss tea as well. So this is one thing that we really want to get ready and address. We know that everybody's going to have a New Year's resolution. Everybody's going to want to set a New Year's resolution to lose weight. And now it's just not so much losing weight. It's about being healthy. It's seriously about being healthy. And it's not just about the medical side of things. It's you completely, your overall health, your physical state of being, your interacting with people. Also, not just your physical, but your mental state of being. And this actually is a real term. Your intellectual state of being. It's not just about one being healthy, because if you're stressed out, how can you be healthy? If you are not, if your body's not up to par, how can you be healthy? These are the things that we look at. If you don't have an intellectual spirit to deal with people, how can you be healthy? If you're going through life and you're angry all the time, how can you be healthy? And it's also about a spiritual state of being. So I wanted to really take one person out with me and prove my theory. And it's not just saying these words. It's about walking the walk and talking the talk. Many people, when you say these things, they don't understand even what you're talking about. But this is actually an industry. And it's also whole body nutrition, and it's true and it's real. There's books that have been written about it. And people ask, what is optimal health? What is it? The World Health Organization not only talks about that, so we talk about these things. And so it's not just one state of being or just one way just about being healthy. What we are going to do for sure is that we're going to post in the GroupMe what that actually is. I'm going to read it to you, what it is, and also not only that, I'm going to post it in the GroupMe. So that, and then we'll also put it in the university, because this is a term that you have to get familiar with. We want you to be familiar with those, because guess what? When we were out in the field today, I'm not going to just tell this story. I'm going to have someone else share this story. And so that's what I'm going to do. There's someone that actually literally went with me today, a team member that was out in the field with me, and share her story as well, what it was like for her. And so that's one of the things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Miss Karen Tolliver. Well, first, no. I'm going to ask Miss Kathy Reed, who's going to talk about, first thing is me interacting with her, introducing her to the tea, asking her to actually sample the tea to become a product of the product, sharing the knowledge about the tea, everything that I've been asking you to do. So I'm asking now, Miss Kathy Reed, if you're on the line, if you can *6 and unmute your phone, Miss Kathy Reed. Let's see if I can see her in the panel for her to unmute, to see if she's able to unmute her phone. Miss Kathy Reed, can you hear me? If you're in the panel, just unmute your phone, and then I'll try to see, can I unmute you myself if you're in the panel? So what Ms. Reed did is she followed along with me, and I was able to speak to her, and I was able to sit down with her. And she had a serious condition, and I actually saw her, me and my husband saw her out, and we saw her out. And so once we seen her out, we had heard how ill she had been then. And so I talked to her, and once I talked to her, I said, why don't you come by my home, or I want to share something with you. I didn't go into an overall speech with her, not when I saw her outside. I stayed calm. I remained calm. I understood what she was dealing with. And I asked her, I said, well, why don't you come by my home and we'll sit down and I'll explain. I said, do you understand tea and what tea is and what tea actually does for heart disease? And I want to sit down with you. So when I sat down with her, she came by. And once she came by, she sat down with me. When she sat down with me, I started taking her over all the evidence that I put in the university, everything. And so that's what I did with her. I started taking her over everything. And so what I'm going to do is stop right there. She's on the line. Miss Kathy, can you unmute your phone and *6 and share with the team and the guests on the line tonight our story of me introducing you to the tea? And so with that being said, Miss Kathy, if you're on the line, the floor is yours. You're unmuted. I see you. You have to *6. I think she's trying to get unmuted. Just *6. Go ahead. You're on the panel. Okay. What you do is break in when you can. If you can, Kathy, break into, come into the panel. I see that you're texting me that you're on. But what you need to do is *6. And once you *6, then I can see you. Text me what number you're calling from, and then I'll unmute you myself. And make sure your phone is not on mute, and then you can come in. Okay. So I'm just going to say a little bit more. So what I was able to do is I took a general approach with her. When I took this general approach with her, and she came by, we sat down. We took a little bit of time. I started pulling out the evidence for her that we all have in the university, and I started pulling those things out so that she could understand that I understood what she was dealing with. And I also started pulling out the trials, the evidence, the information. And once I started pulling those things out, she didn't know. It was a whole new meaning for her. But these were not things that I personally wrote. I was able to show her where I was able to access this information from so that she could see that I wasn't the one that was delivering all the information. She could very well see that the information was coming from somewhere else. She was able to see that, and it wasn't something that I just said. And that was the most important thing about it, her seeing and knowing that no, she didn't just say this. This is evidence-based. Ms. Reed, you can go ahead and speak. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. Evening. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. And like Debbie said, I came to her home and I sat down and she explained everything to me about the tea, the program, how, and I looked at different testimonies of others. And I had a heart attack June 4th. Sorry, it gets me emotional when I talk about it. At school, I'm a teacher, and I've only been on the tea for 2 weeks, but I've gotten more energy since I've been drinking the tea, and I'm on 6 different medicines right now, and I'm hoping that I will eliminate those medicines. My heart rate is up higher now than it was. It was at 20%, but now it's at 55%. And I go every 2 weeks to have my blood tested to make sure, I'm on, levels that I'm supposed to be on. But I was really excited and happy when I talked to Debbie about the tea and, all the benefits it can, give me and what it's done for other people who had maybe more serious illnesses than that I have. But like I said, I have gotten more energy, and even though I've only been on it 2 weeks, I can tell a difference, And so I'm really looking forward to the other new teas that they're coming out with, especially the weight loss tea, because I need to lose some weight, and I'm looking forward to that, and just becoming an overall healthier person mentally, physically, and spiritually. And so I'm looking just excited for the new event that's coming in on October 27th. But I'm glad that, she introduced me to this, and I can't wait to, let others know just how, good I feel. And I've only been on it 2 weeks. So I know the benefits are going to even increase and be better than they have, than I have right now. But I am so glad that she welcomed me aboard, to join in with you guys.
Awesome. Well, I just want to share this and go a little further about our conversation. When I was speaking with Miss Kathy, I really just started pulling out things that I put in the university for you all to study. And I started showing her these things, and I know them by heart now, and I know them. But when you're dealing with something and you're dealing with wellness and you're telling someone what something can do, you shouldn't go off of what you think. You should go off of the evidence that is evidence-based, because that's what people really need to know. You're not just making up things, and that this person is well-informed, and that this person knows what, they're well-informed, they actually know what they're talking about, and they took the time to learn. Many of you are not accessing the university, and many of you are. But the more that you acclimate yourself with the business, the more that you acclimate yourself with the knowledge, the more versed you'll be in what we're doing. But you can't learn or teach people or bring a team or create a team if you're not in the business of the business. If you're in the business of hustling, well, it'll only last for a little while. But if you're in the business of building a true business, this is it. This is not something made up. You have resources, and that's what you need to access, your resources, because we're going to move, and we're going to move real fast. You've heard what Mr. Morton has said on the phone. You've heard the direction of that he's going in. You've heard these things. So we're definitely moving in a direction that's going up. Trust and believe me. So then from there, I'm just kind of sharing the day, So yesterday evening, I had received a phone call from a young lady that's also on our team. And before I even move to that, and I'm going to bring her into the call, I never asked Ms. Kathy about joining the business. When I got through showing her everything that I had researched and put together, she said to me, I want to be part of this. And when people start saying to you, I want to be part of this, that's because you're building in the right direction. You're not making it up. You're not hustling people. You're being honest, you're being open, and you're being informed. And those are things that you're going to have to do to make it to the next level. Transparency is everything in business. And the first time that you lie to someone in business, it's over. It's over. They'll never trust you again. And it'll be a bad taste in their mouth. But the worst thing about it is that sometimes they don't blame it on the people, they blame it on the opportunity. It's not the opportunity that's bad, it's people that make an opportunity bad. But we have a good opportunity, thank God for that, because we're moving in the right direction with all that we studied on for the last 8 months. We know we're moving in the right direction. So the next thing is that the other young lady that's on the phone with me, she called me, and she sent me an email, and she said, well, are we still going in the field? And as busy as I was, I didn't want to go in the field because everybody knows what all we're doing and working on and all the technology. But the point is that I gave my word. Okay, I had to put work down for the day and go into the field with her. And I said, okay, well, let's go out around 11 o'clock. Let's just go mid-morning and let's go before lunch. So we went out. And I said, we'll be at my home. And then she texted me. I texted her. She emailed me. I emailed her back. And so I said a few words to her. So at that point, I'm not going to say any more. So what I'm going to do, she says, well, I have this one place I want to take you to. I said, okay. She said, well, I've been talking to the lady, but she's giving me a hard time a little bit. I said, okay. Well, tell me a little bit about the place, and that's fine. I said, okay. So with that part being said, I'm going to bring Ms. Karen Tolliver, our event planner of Team Auspicious, to the floor. And I'd like Ms. Tolliver to star 6. And I know you're in the panel. Just come into the panel and share our day with the team, what we did in 4 hours. So the floor is yours, Ms. Tolliver. Just star 6. If you can't star 6, I'll talk to you. You can come in. Just star 6, Karen. I see you. I don't want to say your part. Go ahead. The floor is yours. You got it open now. Let me unmute you. You muted yourself back. Let's see. Hold on, Karen. I'll get you. You got to unmute yourself. You got to just push star 6 and you'll come back in again. You pushed star 6 and then it went back out again. Okay. So I'm going to wait until she's trying to come into the pen. She'll be the system tonight. Karen, are you there? Okay, so I'm going to mute this person. So, Karen, go ahead. I can see you. The floor is yours. Just unmute your phone. Like if you have your phone on mute, unmute that. Don't star 6 again because you're clear.
No, I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
The floor is yours.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I had my phone on mute, even though I hit star 6, so my bad. Anyway, as Debbie said, we went out today in the field, and I had actually just been talking to people that I know, trying to start there because I really wasn't confident in what I was saying. So I ran across an opportunity at a coffee shop, helping someone with another event that I was preparing for. So I was telling the lady about 3MT, and she's like, well, schedule an appointment and come back, because I don't think she was understanding what I was saying about it. So I was telling Debbie about it, and like she said, to break her away, it's kind of like pulling teeth, but we made it happen. We made it happen. And when she got there, she was like really impressed with the place. and I just kind of watched how she dealt with the lady. Actually, she didn't even know that's who I had spoken with when we got there, the lady that waited on her. So she kind of asked about different teas that they had there, just kind of filling her out. And then, once she gave her spiel, and we sat down at the table in the coffee shop, and she said, now tell me what you saw, or, what did you get out of this? And so we, went back and forth about it. But I think just saying is for the optimal health, really get people's attention, because we went to various places, and just to say tea or whatever, a lot of them didn't seem that interested, or you could actually tell who was and who wasn't interested in it. So I think I gained a lot of experience just by listening to her at the different places, how she was able to sell the product from different angles, not just at the coffee shop, but if we went to a spa, or if we went, I don't even remember all the places we went, but she was able to connect the tea. She was able to connect the product to that specific organization. So, with a little more practice of doing it, I don't think it would be that big a deal to do, just knowing your product and believing in it. So it was a great experience.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I just needed to thank you so much, Sharon. I appreciate you, and thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate both of you for taking the guest spot tonight. I really do. So let's just cover some bases, and then we're going to break it down. Sharon was, she didn't want to say too much, so we're just going to break it down. First of all, everywhere we went, no one told us no. That's number one. We went to 2 beautiful urban tea places. One of them was just this all tea. The first place that we went to, I engaged. So this is a training tonight. First I engaged, I bought some tea, and I asked about the type of teas. I said, well, what type of tea do you have? And are they herbal? What are they made of? And I said, because I drink tea and I don't know which one I want. Just kind of tell me what you have. They had 4 teas. And I said, okay, number 1, I need to find out what type of teas you have. Number 2, I need to make sure it's not the same tea that we have. And if it is, I got to address it differently. That's number 2. Okay, being at the top of your game. Number 3, I had to engage with her by becoming a customer first instead of becoming a salesperson first. I need to let her know I'm willing to spend some money in your place. That's number 2, okay? So I said, you know what? I'm, actually working with one of the owners of our company, and I really wanted to introduce you to an awesome tea blend. And remember, Mr. Morton sent me some of the weight loss tea. Well, the aroma is glorious. So that plastic bag sold 3 times today. I just opened up the plastic bag and I said, would you like to smell this? This is one of our weight loss teas. And I want to talk to you about optimum health. And I think that if we do some optimum health benefits for you in here with your clientele and your customers, we can get your tea business off the ground. And that would be using our tea. And we would work with you and create some technology around optimal health, because that's where you're going to get your customers from, because all millennials, mostly, they want to be healthier. And people are coming in here with that mindset already. But what we have to do is we have to educate them and educate you so that we can help you build your business. So when you when you walk into the door of a business, you're really a consultant at that point. But if you don't know your product, how can you consult with them? I just want to tell you about this tea I'm selling, and you're already selling tea. So do you think you might want to add this tea? It smells really good. Who's going to listen to you? What you want to say is, hi, how are you doing? I really, really want to add to your product line, and I believe that we can bring you extra income. And I believe that we can get your customer base up and your customer population up through optimal health. You know what optimal health is. And so that's the state of being. And so what we have to do is we have to teach them this side of the business, and we're willing to do that. And not only that, you have such a beautiful hall here. I think we want to have our next event. And so I'm going to let Karen take care of that part for you. And so she says, oh, absolutely. She gave me a business card. She said, here's my email. Just email me, and we're going to get together about the tea. She said, oh, it smells so good. I said, excellent. So when I receive my samples, I'm going to bring them in, and we'll be right on time for the new year. She said, oh, my goodness, this is so great. So at this point, I had reversed the conversation right in front of Karen's eyes, and I reversed it from a sales point to a point of helping. And so it's about the technique of sales. It's always about your technique. It's always about your delivery. It's always about how well-versed you are, and is this somebody I can trust my business with? But when you come through the door talking their talk and walking their talk, and you can explain it to them better than you can explain it to them, they can explain it to you, well, you got their attention. If you have the product, it's all about sales. Now, I'm one of the best salespeople you ever want to know. Because trust and believe me, before I ever go outside to sell anything, I'm probably going to have taken it together, put it together, take it back apart, take it back together, take it back apart again, read, study, look at who the competition is, and turn around and figure out why we're better than the rest. And when I know we're really better than the rest, I'm all in and I'm going for it. But it's hard to get me away from my technology. So when I'm outside, I make every last minute count. When I go outside, every last minute has to count. I could have ridden down the street and seen this place 20 times, but just on that particular day, I'm going in on that day. I'm going to know when they're busy, when they're not busy, when's the best time to go in there and talk to them. I probably already went in there and looked at the product line, try to see, it's things that you have to do to be a good salesperson. It's not about you running everywhere you see, oh, I got this product. No, you need to visit that place first. And so we'll get into those things a little later on about how you become an excellent salesperson, because we're not just doing tea parties. We have a product that's outstanding, and we have new products that are coming in, and it's my job to teach you how to sell those products. It's my job to teach you how to sell products in different ways. It's not always just one way. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just one way. The point is, Karen had the courage to go. She came and got me. She didn't really know what she was saying. She didn't know what she was doing, but she came and got me. That's the point. If you guys are thinking, I'm going to call you on the telephone and say, come on and go with me so I can help you make some money, wrong answer. I'm not saying that. If you're not calling me on the phone, I'm not going to call you, because guess and trust and believe, I'm going to find another Debbie. I'm going to find another Karen. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to find some more of them. They're out there. They're out there. They're just as hungry as I am and the next person. In order for you to be good at your craft, you have to start. Everything is not going to go right. When you become better, you become better with experience. You don't become a pro the first day out. You stumble, you say some of the wrong things, but it takes patience. And it takes believing in yourself. It takes believing in your product. It takes believing in your team. It takes believing in the people that you work with. It takes believing in yourself by becoming a product of the product. It takes you being honest with yourself and saying, do I need transformation? Do I need leadership qualities? Do I need to grow in these areas? Absolutely we do. We always have to grow. There's always room for growth. No one person ever knows anything. Everything. No one knows everything. There's always room for growth. And when you're even helping people, you're still growing, because you're learning how to deal with a multitude of different personalities, and you're learning how to work with different personalities. You're learning how to work with different personalities in business, because this is not going to just be sitting down having tea parties and just trying to grow your team and hoping that you win on a whim. It's not that. You're going to build something that's so solid that you can't, it's bedrock. It's going to be more solid than bedrock. That's how you're going to build it. You're going to build it on the strength of knowledge. You're going to build it on the strength of evidence. You're going to build it on the strength of truth. That's how you're going to build it. See, when you get people to come into business with you, you have to be willing to pour into them. But if you don't turn around and do personal development and self-development, if you don't continue to do that, and then you can only build them so far. And then that's it. But if you continue to be a work in progress by studying, learning, becoming acclimated with what's really going on out here, then you start to master your craft. And then you start to transform into something. The transformation process already starts. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say, only thing I did today was I just kept saying one word, optimal health. And when I kept saying, I said, do you understand what that is? Do you understand about educating your clients, your customers, about we need to do some educational courses in here for them. And then we also need some technology to back this up, so that we need some TVs on the wall. I was telling these people what I think they needed. And they were like, yes. I was like, absolutely. So we need to have something that's going to engage with the customer. So if it engages with the customer, then guess what? Everybody wins. We win because they're buying our product, and you win because you're making more money and you made a smart investment and you teamed up with the right people. And so now we just grew our team in leaps and bounds, because now we have our products on the shelf. And because we can private label them, this is what we're hoping for, like in the wholesale, as they have done with the Jasmine Towel, as well, a wholesale package and a retail package, or however, because it's going to work. It's going to work. A tea for you to go to sleep on, that's one thing. A lot of people have insomnia. A lot of people can't sleep at night, and they need help to go to sleep. And if you are not sleeping correctly, you're going to gain a ton of weight, because your body needs to rejuvenate itself. Okay, it needs to be able to do that in order for you to have maximum health and overall health. Okay, so you have to have those things to be, that's part of it. So, okay, now we're coming out with this tea that's going to be for sleeping. Then we have the tea that you take in the morning, and that's going to be for the weight loss and energy. Well, guess what? Me and Karen didn't eat at 3 o'clock today. We had been outside all morning. We didn't even eat at 3 o'clock. This is what time it is. We had to go to the store, remember we were hungry, and then once we remember we were hungry, then we went to the store. I didn't want anything. I didn't want any fast food. I just didn't want to mess up my body with anything that didn't need to be in it. I wanted something healthy. So we went to the grocery store. Karen got a salad. Karen got soup. I said, Karen, when we get home, I'm going to make this smoothie for you. All today was about training, learning, and all that. I said, Karen, I'm going to make a smoothie. I need a smoothie. So I took some fruit. I had a pineapple, and I cut it up, put it in my freezer, and froze it. So when I'm running like this, that I have a well-rounded meal. I stopped and bought some bananas, okay, and I bought some 100% cranberry juice, 100, not the cocktail, but 100% ocean spray. I said, Karen, I'm going to make you a shake because you need protein. So it had whey powder in it. I said, okay. So I know I had some. My husband had some. So I said, I need to get some whey powder because both of us stopped eating meat, okay? We are actually on a transition. We're on a transition of optimal health. So we both stopped eating meat. Okay, so I didn't tell her to stop. She didn't tell me to stop. We just stopped. I stopped on my own. She stopped on her own. And we had a conversation and discovered that both of us really weren't eating meat. Okay, so then I said, Karen, why don't you taste this? So I got some protein in her. Okay, so that's part of the story. Okay, so she was having her salad. She was having her soup. I said, drink this. So she drank hers, and I drank all mine. And I said, now it was 1 glass apiece. I said, you know what? It would be more if I had the berries and strawberries, the frozen berries and frozen strawberries. And I'm talking about natural. I'm not talking about something that you just go buy at the store and stick in the freezer. I'm talking about natural. You wash it, clean it, and put it in freezer bags and put it in the freezer until when you're ready to use it. So I said, Karen, I said, before you go, I need to make something else for you. She said, well, okay, well, I said, let me show you something. So I went and got the tea bags that were brewed already, the Jasmine Towel. I went and got the Jasmine Towel. The Jasmine Towel was already brewed. So I got that, and I said to her, I said, okay, Karen. I said, you see this right here? It's wet and everything. I said, but I'm going to tear this tea bag open, and I'm going to pour a little cranberry juice in this blender. And when I pour it in there, I'm going to blend this all up. Okay, because we need to drink the seeds too. So she looked at me, and I didn't even look at her. I didn't even give her a chance to even ask me anything. So I tore the tea bag open. It had been used, and I was reading about it. and I was reading about I was reading about the herbs that a lot of people drink the herbs. And so I said, okay, so let me do that too. So I poured it in there. I blended up. I made sure that I was a really high-pitched smoothie blender. So I said, okay, so I made sure everything was ground up real good in the cranberry juice. And then I turned around and I put some more whey powder. And then I put another banana. And then I turned around and I put another pineapple, some frozen pineapples that I had peeled and cut up fresh myself, okay? So I blended that up. And I said, Karen, I need you to taste this. And Karen tasted and I tasted. You can't really tell that the tea is in there. You can't even tell. We didn't pour any tea. We tore everything out of the tea bag. So I'm like, I'm not wasting this tea. I don't want to just throw the tea bags in the garbage. I want to keep them too. So then I was using the vitamin E pills, and I was melting them, and then I was taking that tea bag, and I was blending, like stirring it all up together, and I was putting it in my refrigerator because I've been really becoming a product of the product. Well, I hadn't had on any makeup in 2 weeks. I was just loving my skin. And and everybody has told me how my skin is looking. So I'm realizing something is changing and transitioning, and I'm changing and I'm transitioning by being a product of the product and seeking more knowledge. These are the things that will happen to you when you're on an adventure of self-discovery, immersing yourself in something that you believe in, and wanting to be a student, and not only a student, but be mastering the game where you can help other people. Well, how do we master the game? First of all, I came home, and then I cooked. After I finished that, and I cooked dinner. I was cooking dinner, and then I turned my dinner off, and I called Kathy. I'm on my way over there. Do you still have tea? And she said, well, I'm almost out of my tea. I said, okay, I'm coming over there, and I'm going to bring you some more tea. And I want you to smell the new tea that we have coming out. I just want you to smell it. So I had one bag left, and I gave her this one bag of the peach mango. I gave it to her. I said, well, the owner, he's going to send us, one of the owners of the company, he's going to send us more tea. But I just want you to smell this. And it's the same glorious smell that I let these other people smell. So the 2 tea shops, and they said, oh, absolutely, this is my email. Make sure you email me. Okay, I'm going to make sure to email you. But guess what? I'm not just going to email them. I said, I want to invite you to our event. And Mr. Joe Morton, he's going to be in town. And he's done, between him and the company he was in, they've done $2 billion collectively in sales. And so this is more so about Optimum Health. And I want to afford you an audience with him, and I'm going to bring you back an invitation. I got 3 yeses on those invitations, and they were all businesses. I said, okay. So I said, okay, that's enough today. Okay, so what had happened with my day, I'm going to make every minute count when I'm not home. When I'm not working on technology and building and systems or whatever you want to call them to get us to the next level, I got to make every level count because sales is second nature to me. It always has been. And so I make every piece count of today. So every bit of today counted. I literally was cooking dinner, went to see Kathy, and came back, make sure she had enough tea, asked her to get on the call tonight, worked with Karen all day, showed Karen the side of the business so she could get on the call tonight so she can talk to you about the business side of the business because it's a testimony within itself. And then from there, I said, oh, we're not done yet. You said you wanted to work with me one day in the field, so now let's do it. This is what it's going to take. And so I said, come on, we got to go over to Staples because, we got to get these invitations together. Okay, we got to take these invitations back to everybody that we told we going to give them the invitation. So now we got to start writing our list down. So we expect to have 100 people at this event. This is how we're going to have to do it. Karen looked at me and said, well, when are we going out again? I said, well, when you want to go out again? She said, we'll go out on Thursday. I said, oh, you want some more? Okay, well, we go out on Thursday again, or we'll dedicate another day. The reason why she said that to me is because she believed in the process of the process because she saw it for herself. She experienced it for herself. And so it's not just those businesses. The next will be the medical portion of what we're going to do. The next will going to be the holistic approach of what we're going to do. So we have a multitude of different, of different people from different spectrums, not just one type of people. So you want different spectrums because there's so much more that can be done with this tea. There's a business side of tea. There's a medicinal side to tea. There's overall health in tea. And so it's in that statement alone, what is overall health? Trust it, or optimal health, what is it? Okay, so let me read it to you. It's actually a definition. Okay? And so let me read this to you. In the healthcare industry, explains that optimal health is a balance of 5 areas of health. These areas are emotional, physical, spiritual, intellectual, and social health. The concept of optimal health focuses on mental health and healthy relationships as well as nutrition and exercise. We covered every last one of those in one day. We got exercise, we did all day walking. Okay? We came home and we experienced the nutritional side of it. We created a deeper meaning in the relationship between Karen and myself and a deeper relationship of trust. Okay? We also were able to open our horizons in the areas of mental health and getting the brain to operate even deeper on a deeper level. Okay? And we focused on optimal health. And that's what we did. So our job is to teach these businesses more about optimal health. And it's all about what you feel, what you think, and what your delivery is. But when you can take someone on a journey and do all of that in one day, you're doing a real good job. When you can do all those things in one day, sharing, caring, relationships, physical being, spiritual being, intellectual being, nurturing of relationships, focusing on health, focusing on people's well-being in business to see that they want to become better in business and make more money. Focusing on those things, building trust, building brand new relationships with people that you never had relationships with before. All of that is part of it. So when I ask a person, this is what I want you to do, I just want you to do that one thing because you got to crawl before you walk, but I don't expect you to get in there and do everything in one day. I want you to crawl before you walk, take it little by little, so that you can learn how to work with the public, learn how to work with people, and learn how to build your team, and learn how to work with people. These are steps, and it's a process. It's a process and steps for success. And that's really what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, and we're all growing. I'm even growing even more. No one person knows everything. It's impossible. But it has to be your ability to want to learn, your ability to care. Caring, it's because I've asked you all to go to breast cancer awareness. Karen is doing a breast cancer awareness booth, and I'm attending that booth for her. And we will be ready because everything we need to know about the epigenetic side of it is in there. Okay? Number 2, our event is going to be changing to a different place because I'm going to support this lady because she's going to carry our tea. And it is because of Karen. It was because of her taking me there that she was able to show me a beautiful space that I didn't even know existed in Indianapolis. So that was a whole nother relationship of trust of her and her professional abilities. Okay? And then when we look at all these things, we look at team integration. We look at the type of people we're integrating into our team. We look at businesses we're integrating, business professionals, medical professionals that we're integrating, and we're beginning to build a team that's really rock solid. And that's what we really, really want. And we're able to give them more understanding, more meaning, helping them to develop their craft on a deeper level, helping them to develop their businesses on a deeper level. And it's helping us to become better in our craft of what we're doing in ensuring stability in our team. These are things that really matter, and it's not about you just making money. The money will come. If you do all those things that I'm asking you, the money will come. Okay? When they deliver the right products to us, which they are, and I can tell you from the samples, Joe says, I'm going to send you more samples, and I'm going to get them out to the team. He didn't have a lot of samples, so he just sent me what he had. But he says, okay, we got a lot more coming. We can get them out to the team. So then you can share what I'm telling you. And then the other part of it is going to be about you picking up the phone and calling me. If I had somebody years ago when I was learning the things that I was learning, and I had to learn by trial and error, and if I had somebody that could teach me and wanted to show me and not try to take advantage of me, I would have been all over them. But do you really think I'm going to call you and say, I want you to make some money today? No, you call me up and tell me, come on, we need to get busy. Let's get a strategy together. because they're all out here. We have plenty of strategies. We got too many strategies. So all that's out there. And these are the things that I wanted to talk to you about tonight. These are the things that I wanted to share with you tonight. And at this time, right now, because our call is ending soon, I wanted to let the team know that we are looking at a block of rooms. I'll know more about it tomorrow, about a block of room for the teams that are coming in from out of town. Anybody that has any questions, please call me. Don't be afraid to call me. Make sure everybody has my number. Okay, the new event is going to be in a larger room, and more people are going to be invited. Also, I spoke to Mr. Morton about that. I'm going to post the pictures in the group. The event is so beautiful, and it's more of an urban feel, and that's where we belong, in an urban feel. And instead of just being in a hotel, that's not what we want. We want to be out of the box. I want our approach to be outside of the box. I want the things that we do to be outside of the box. Our approach is outside of the box. And also, our technique is outside of the box. So those are the things. We want to be different. We want to do our thing. We want to make sure that integrity is there when we're doing it. And we want to make sure that honesty and truth is there. The rest will take care of itself. If we have those three things in place, it'll take care of itself. As long as we're standing in truth, that's all that really matters. And so, and I'm going to post Haverstick. It's at 911 Haverstick Road, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46240, and we will have a 3-hour block on that. And at this time, I'm going to give the floor to the team or any guest. I'm going to star 6. So anybody that would has any questions, wants to know anything, and then also at this time, too, I'm going to give the floor to Dr. Hassa Johnson, and she's going to take over the call, and we're going to have Q&A. If anybody has any questions or anything, and then after any questions have been answered, then we're going to actually close the call. She will close the call this evening. So, Dr. Hassa Johnson, the floor is yours. I think we're having problems with our panel tonight. Okay. So, until she can come in, does anybody have any questions? If anybody has any questions, please let me know. The floor is yours at this time. If you don't have any questions, if no guests have questions, or any of the team members have any questions, star 6 if you do. If you don't have any questions, please let me know.
I have a question, Debbie.
Okay, go ahead.
For the conference, do we all need to provide tea, or how is that? Because we're going to have tea available for them to taste, right?
We'll definitely have tea at the event, and we'll get with the ones here and to get the tea together. And once our guest list starts to unfold, so we'll know how much tea. And then also I'll find out also more from Mr. Morton, like the theme of how he may want the event to go as well. So we'll get to that question. And then as we get closer, probably 2 weeks out, or a week out, then we'll get to those questions to know if they're having T-shirts in the size of the crowd we're expecting and all those things. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine.
That's a good question. Very good. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes, Ms. Woolley. Then we're not going to use the that hotel we spoke about last week.
No, it's just booking. I'll lose the money, but I'm okay with that. It's okay. I think because of the fact that this young lady wants to sell our tea, it's such a beautiful establishment, we're going to support her business, and we're going to be doing some events there more, like maybe every 2 months or something like that. We need to support her business and her as a potential business partner. And this, I think everybody will be more pleased. And what we will do is put pictures in the group meet tonight of what it is.
Okay.
You okay with that? And then also, I did check into the courtyard, and I've been asking them about a block of rooms, and they have some weddings booked there, so they don't want to do a block of rooms. So we're going to find another place that will do a block of rooms and give us a discount. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be working on that tomorrow, and then I'm going to ask Karen to help me with it as well. And then we'll find if we can get a block of rooms that's really close. the location that this is at is very close to the original location. So, and there's hotels that are out here, and it's in a very nice part of town as well. So we're all good. It's a wonderful. It's really great. I'm just really pleased. It's great.
Okay.
Okay, and so we'll get that out to everybody and find out and see if we can negotiate on rooms for the out-of-town guests, affordable rooms. Is that okay?
Yes, fine with me.
Okay.
Debbie, are you gonna check? I missed some of it trying to unmute this phone. Like Keystone the Crossing area.
Yes, that's the area I want to check in. Keystone at the Crossing, out there. That's where I want to check. I'm thinking I'm going to contact the jury and see if they have a block of rooms, because there's one right there on 96th Street. So I was thinking of contacting them as well. What do you think, Karen? Okay,
yeah, that jury is nice, because then they have like the happy hour and stuff where they have like free. Yeah.
Right. I just want to see if we can arrange a shuttle to bring them to and from. That's the next thing. We want to see can we get that also. If not, we have enough vehicles to make it happen, the ones of us that live here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and if the jury don't work, I think it's the Sheridan that's right there at Keystone at the Crossing. So it's like right in back of the facility, the Haverstick. So.
Okay. Okay. So let's make a mental note to work on that tomorrow, and then maybe we'll drive up there tomorrow and go talk to them and see what they think.
Okay. And since it's really considered off-peak in October, so they should be able to work out some good pricing for you.
Okay. So who's ever in the group meeting, just check in the group meeting that you need a room. Just do that by probably, you do that tonight. Tell your team, get your team, and tell them I need a room. And then we'll just go from there, and we'll be fine. Okay. So with that being said, okay, are there any other questions, team? Anybody else have anything that they need to say? Okay. And I believe we covered the agenda tonight. I believe we did that. I believe that's been all covered. So I believe we're free to end the call tonight. If you have any questions, put them in the group meeting, and we'll get to them in the morning. And with that being said, this call is officially over. And I just want to thank each and every person for giving us their time and working with us. And we're going to experience abundance of all the areas we talked about. We're going to have an abundance of emotional well-being, physical well-being, an abundance of spiritual well-being. We're going to have an abundance of intellectual well-being and social health, okay? And our focus is going to be the health focus, the mental benefits of optimal health, okay, and creating healthy, growing business relationships, personal relationships. There's an abundance of the things that we need in our lives to get our lives to the next level. And trust and believe, if we work in all those areas, the income will come. So with that being said, this call is officially over, and I will see you all on the next call. And if anybody needs me, you know I have my number. Call me. All calls are welcome. Thank you very much, team. Good night. This call is over.
Good night.